hiding somewhere in the night. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Wednesday. Oh, my holder is cockeyed. Just a second. Welcome to another Wednesday weekly sacred pipe ceremony. Chai. I am Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman. We are going to do sacred pipe ceremony, which I will explain. Excuse me. As I set up my altar, the sacred pipe, you may know it as the peace pipe in old westerns, and that's actually not that far off from the purpose of the sacred pipe, or the chanupa as it's called. It is true, like in the westerns, before any big negotiations or treaties, etc., they would sit down to smoke the peace pipe. And part of that is because as we smoke the pipe together, especially if you think about doing it in a lodge, it's like we're smoking, we're blowing out our prayers, and the room gets smoky, so we're like breathing each other's prayers. We're taking others' prayers into us and we're breathing them back out, reinforcing them. And so it's said that you can't smoke the pipe. How do I put this? If you smoke the pipe and you're not honest, there will be repercussions. I don't know what my words aren't here tonight for some reason, but I know I can explain that better. But it's thought that you can't lie while you're smoking the pipe, because if you do, bad things will happen. And if you question that, hi Kevin, if you question that, just ask Custer. So the sacred pipe, I will show you in a second. The chanupa, like I said, you might know it as the peace pipe, right? 19 generations ago, which I've never done the math myself, but I've heard that that's like 2,000 years ago or something. So roughly the same time that Jesus was here in America, in what would become America, White Buffalo Calf Woman appeared and brought the sacred pipe to the Lakota people. Hi everybody, welcome in. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for your energy. Thanks for watching. I'm just explaining what the sacred pipe is before we go into our ceremony. And so when White Buffalo Calf Woman came to the people, it was a time of drought and hunger, and all the tribes had come together. All the different bands of the Lakota people had come together to kind of help each other. And it said that they had forgotten their connection to Mother Earth. So there was bickering, there was infighting, and that was the time when White Buffalo Calf Woman came, and she brought the gift of the original sacred pipe. because the pipe, the main purpose of the pipe is to unify the people. Kathleen, I know, I've thought about that too. So I'm just going by what they say. A generation is about 20 years, so 19 generations is about 400 years. I'm not going to question them and how and the traditions in that way. Maybe generations were longer back then. I don't know, but I understand. Thank you. Um, where was I? Oh, so she brought the pipe, and she taught them how to smoke the pipe in a sacred manner, teaching them that the stem is the divine masculine and the bowl is the divine feminine. So when we put the two together, it's like all of creation. Um, it's the yin yang, right? We put it together, and it's like it creates, when we put the pipe together, until we take it apart. Oh, thank you, Amelia. I appreciate the subscription and watching my videos. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I keep getting this is why normally I don't really pay attention to the comments while I'm doing this, because I get distracted and get off topic. But thank you guys for watching. So she taught the masculine and the feminine. We put it together. It's basically, this is the divine presence. This is church. At the time, the Lakota people were nomadic. And so this was church. They could bring church with them wherever they went. And when we put the pipe together, until we take it apart, it's like one giant prayer. We put it together, it opens a channel straight to Creator, so that everything you think, every prayer you say, every intention you set, while the pipe is together, there's an unbroken channel straight to Creator. So your prayers go straight to Source, no waiting, no filling out anything in triplicate, just boom, straight to Source. And so that whole thing of it's like bringing the masculine and the feminine together as one, right? When we smoke the pipe, it's about unifying the different parts of ourselves, the masculine and feminine within ourselves. It's about bringing men and women together. It's about bringing all the nations of humanity together. The medicine wheel, if you know what the medicine wheel looks like, there's 4 colors in the medicine wheel. And that's why I've got these on my pipe. There's the black, the yellow, the red, and the white. And those are the 4 races of humans. And if you know what the medicine wheel looks like, it's like a hoop with a cross in the middle, and then there's the 4 colors, the 4 races of humanity. And the whole point of the pipe is to bring all nations, all humanity within that same sacred hoop. Individually, not homogenized, but still with their own cultures, their own ways. But it's the diversity that makes us strong. So I feel like I'm not doing a very good job of explaining things tonight, so, or that I could say things better than I am. Anyway, so she brought the pipe, taught them how to smoke it in a sacred manner, and it said that the bowl, the red of the pipe, the bowl, the stone, is called catlinite. And just like me, the only place to quarry it is Minnesota, Pipestone, Minnesota. That's where I was. I wasn't born in Pipestone, but I was born in Minnesota. And the red of the stone is said to be the red of the blood of all people. In fact, one of my spirit guides, one of the guides who showed up to help me, is Chief Standing Bear from the Ponca tribe. And he's the one who famously, successfully sued the United States government um, for habeas corpus. Is that what it's called? Um, but he's the one that famously said, "If you cut me, do I not bleed? Is my blood not the same color as yours?" Right? And that's why the pipe is so pertinent today, because we smoke it in with that intention of uniting all of humanity, one family, one race, one tribe. And anything else I want to say? I guess that's the pipe in a nutshell. I could talk and talk and talk, and we'd never get to the ceremony. But gosh, give me a second. Why don't we all take a deep breath together? I need to ground. I'm kind of all scattered all over the place. So take a deep breath in, hold it for a moment, and let it go. Take another deep breath in, hold it for a moment, and let it go. Awesome. There we go. Yay, hooray, we're here. Thank you for your patience with me. So that's a little bit about the pipe and why we smoke it. And there are pipe carriers all over the world. You don't have to be Native American to be a pipe carrier. And it, like many things, is a vocation. It's like you're called to do it. It does carry responsibility. Not that I'm any better than anyone else or anything, but it does. It just like being a shaman. You're constantly being challenged to better yourself, constantly being challenged to face your shadows, to face your fears, so that you can become more and more, as we call it, the hollow bone, right? So that we become the hands, the voice, the eyes of spirit, or the hollow reed, or the hollow stem, right? That's how the smoke comes out. And what I love is the whole thing. It's like the bowl. So the bowl is the divine feminine, right? And so this is the womb of the universe. This is the cosmic womb, right? And we put the Dedeco in, we light it in here. That's the spark of life. And this is unchangeable. This is permanent. The stem, I think I'm on my 5th or 6th stem since I became a pipe carrier, because the stem is organic. It's in the masculine. It's the temporal part that dances around Creator, right? The cosmic mother. And so the wood wears out. Like I said, this is the 5th or 6th one. Usually it's the insert part that goes into the pipe that wears out. But the wood does get old and needs to be replaced. And so it's just like, if you know anything about pagan mythology and the Lord and the Lady, how the Lady, the goddess, the mother goddess, gives birth to the god every year, and then the god grows up to maturity, becomes her consort, dies, and is reborn. Ta-da! So you can fit almost any mythology into that whole creation story. But enough about that. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drum and I'm going to set our safe and sacred space. Um, wow, my mind is so scattered. I apologize if I'm all over the place. Maybe it's the sun. I've also not been sleeping well. Um, so I'm kind of all over the place. But I'm going to drum and call in the elements and the spirits to hold safe and sacred space around us. And what that does, rather than like a lot of people think of setting sacred space as a way to protect ourselves from those things out there that want to come in and eat our brains, we set sacred space. It's really calling in the spirits to hold an energetic container around us of a higher vibration, so that we know that we are safe from anything of a lower vibration, which means since the spirits have our backs, we can open our hearts, we can let down, we can take the world off our shoulders, we can let down our armor, our barriers, so that we can open our heart to receive the blessings coming from spirit. Um, just like the Zen stories, right? You can't grasp water. The harder you try to grasp water, the less water you hold. And our hearts are like that. The only way to hold those blessings is with an open heart. Like the only way you can hold water is with cupped hands, open hands. And so this is how I set sacred space. Pay attention to how you feel before I do it, and then see how you feel afterwards. It's really subtle, but if you're paying attention, you might notice that when I'm done, you're a little bit more grounded, you're a little bit more, you breathe a little bit easier. So spirits of the earth, spirits of the air, spirits of the fire, spirits of the water, spirits of the upper world, spirits of the lower world, compassionate spirits of the middle world, the Fae, the spirits of the land, the ancestors of the land. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for holding us in your love and your light. Wow. That was so much better. All right, my friends. So just to give you an idea of what the ceremony looks like, so you can kind of follow along, because part of it's in silence, part of it's out loud. And I'm going to keep my eye open for my crow friend, who I named Thomas. Usually the drumming calls him and he comes and sits over here and waits for me to... I am the kind of person who goes to the espresso stand to get myself a chai and a cookie for the crow. But if you see me kind of looking off constantly, that's I'm kind of looking to see if Thomas showed up. So first thing I'm going to do is light some sage and basically smudge everything here on my altar. I'm going to smudge myself first, and I will send some smudge your way and through the magic of the internet and the holographic universe. It'll help clear your energy as well, because it's all about intention, right? And then I will raise my pipe. I'll say a prayer asking for permission to smoke in this place at this time. We always ask permission before we smoke, and sometimes the answer is no. So hopefully it'll be yes. If it is, I put the pipe together. And then I take 4 pinches of tobacco and I put them into the bowl. That part I do out loud, so you'll see me kind of offering to the different directions, and you'll hear the prayers I say while I do that. And it's almost, in my mind, it always feels like I'm making cotton candy or something. You know how you take the bone and you just kind of run around the edge of that bowl and the stuff just kind of loops up on it. It's like I'm kind of offering to the, and it's like I'm spreading putting the tobacco out there, and I'm picking up the prayers from all of those beings and spirits and ancestors, etc., as I go. And then we put it into the pipe. And so I'll do that with 4 pinches of tobacco. And then once I get the pipe filled, I have a song that White Buffalo Calf Woman, who I mentioned earlier, has actually been one of my spirit guides for like almost 20 years, long before I ever even knew anything about the pipe. She was my spirit guide, and she gave me, when I became a carrier, she gave me a song to sing before each ceremony that I facilitate. So I will sing that song, then once the pipe is filled, then I will light the pipe, and what you'll see me do is take a great big puff, and then offer the pipe to the 4 directions. Like I offer it, I'll blow that breath blessing, take another breath, offer it to the next direction, and blow the breath blessing. So it's the 4 directions, Father Sky, Mother Earth, in a circle for all our relations, and then straight up for Creator. And then I'm going to pause for a moment of silent prayer with the stem to my forehead and the bowl to my heart, right? Masculine, feminine. And then I'll come back, I'll relight the pipe if I need to. And then at that point, I'm going to take as big a puff of smoke as I can, and I'm going to blow it straight at my camera. And that is a blessing coming for you through my camera, and again by the magic of the internet and the holographic universe. That blessing will come out of whatever device you're watching this on to your heart, and that's the place where you want to say your biggest, bestest prayers, or set your biggest, bestest intentions. And then I will continue to smoke and to blow breath blessings for intentions of my own, for intentions others have asked me to pray for. And by the way, if you ever have anything, any big, well, it doesn't matter how big, if you ever have anything that you want help praying for, I have a little booklet that I keep in my pouch with my tobacco, where I write down, it's the pipe ceremony prayer intentions. So if you have any intentions you would like me to pray for, please let me know. I'll write you down in my book. And like I said, I keep this in my pouch, so it's always here on my altar when I do ceremony. So I always blow breath blessings to the book, to all the prayers within, and I'm just more than happy to add strength, add fire to whatever prayer intentions, whatever it is that you're praying for. So let me know. Then when it feels complete, I'll raise my pipe again. I'll say another prayer. And at the end, I used to pray in English, and I would make something up. But I also, if you've heard of light language, I also speak light language. And so I started doing it with light language, which is kind of stepping a little bit out of my comfort zone on video. But so you won't recognize the words. It's basically syllables and inflections. But by doing it with the light language, it keeps me out of my head and brings me back to my heart, because it's the energy of the words coming through. I have no idea what it's saying. But so don't get caught up in the sounds or trying to understand. Just listen with your heart and see how you feel. because it just feels so much more complete and grounded when I use that light language. So then when I'm done with that prayer, I have another song I sing, and then I will take the pipe apart, and that will be the end of our ceremony. And then hang around a little bit longer, as I usually have something else to say afterwards. I never know what that is. Usually my guides have something for me to talk about, and there's usually a nugget of wisdom in there someplace. So um, I hope you'll stay along for that. And other than that, I think we're ready. So let's do ceremony. Um, Again, if you came in late, if you don't know who I am Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman, and we are going to do pipe ceremony. So just sit back, connect to spirit, relax, and enjoy. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May the beauty of the fire lift your spirits higher. May the beauty of the earth fill your heart with mirth. May the beauty of the rain wash away your pain. May the beauty of the sky make your mind to fly. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May the beauty of the fire lift your spirits higher. May the beauty of the earth fill your heart with mirth. May the beauty of the rain wash away your pain. May the beauty of the sky make your mind to fly. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. Aho. Grandmother, grandfather, eagle, we send a voice. We ask permission smoke in this place at this time. All our guides and guardians watch over us as we smoke. Creator, Earth Mother, Tawabin, Shawnadisi, Najakiwis, and Wabus. There is always room for you in my pipe. Creator, Earth Mother, for the two-legged, the four-legged, the winged, the crawlers and the swimmers, all our relations come smoke with us. Grandmother Moon, Grandmother Ocean, to the energy of birth, growth, maturity, the spirit realm, and our ancestors. May all the passages of our lives be in harmony and grace. Creator, Earth Mother, to eagle, coyote, bear, white buffalo calf woman, bringer of the pipe and the law of good relations to the people. Okane, Bayama, Okane, Bayama, Okane, Bayama, Okane. Okane, Bayama, Okane, Bayama, Okane, Bayama, Okane. Okane, Bayama, Okane, Bayama, Okane, Bayama, Okane. grandfather eagle, we send another voice. Ata kapamahala kate, tupatapahai, tamanaha takahopa, ahehe mubakoho, talama he namagaho na alabadai, tasikatapahu, tamaka he rahoma malahai, ta hakadaboho, takia ma talapai nago, wagadakahai, tuhu pamakataha, ayalabohogavai, tinangabaho, tukuvitapahi, tumukatapahi, talaika hamukaboho, takahaha manaboho, wapahai takaha, talekite, tumuhu patapaha, takahe, tamahakaboho tahahi, tamahakatahai, tamahai, tulapoho, kakapapahai. Ihila ihio, ihila ihio, ihila ihio, ihi, ihi, ihila ihio, ihila ihio, ihila ihio. Oofda. Always takes me a minute to come back. Oofda, by the way, is a Minnesota way of saying amen or so be it or so mote it be. Oofda. So. There's so many things swimming around in my brain. I'm trying to find something that wants to come out and be said. I was talking to, I taught a class last weekend, Introduction to Shamanic Journey, which, stay tuned on my YouTube channel and on my website, perchingmovestudios.net, and my Facebook page. I'm going to be teaching, I'm not sure when yet, but in July probably, I'm going to be teaching an Introduction to Shamanic Journey class online. Most of the time I do it in person, but been feeling the call. Just like this, I used to do these videos on Facebook Live, and I was feeling called to do them on YouTube, which is part of the reason I'm stumbling over my words and stuff. I'm still a little bit nervous about doing it on YouTube. It's like bigger audience, attracting new people, so get a little nervous. But anyway, so I'm going to be teaching it online. So, but in the class I taught Saturday, in the class I teach the technique of shamanic journeying, which is the technique that shamans have used for over 100,000 years to connect directly to their guides and such, right? Is through the repetition of sound, like the drum or the rattle, right? That entrains your brain waves to a theta level where you can connect to your guides. And so in the class, we do a lower world journey to meet your power animal, and we're one of your power animal spirit guides. And one of my students was asking, Like, how did she? We were talking about power animals, animal spirit guides, and how most of the time people come to the class and they want to have a lion or a bear or eagle to be their power animal, right? They're thinking this big, powerful animal. And there's every creature is valuable, from the smallest bug, right? An ant medicine is just as powerful as eagle medicine. There's no comparison. It's like, and that's the point of this spirituality, right? Earth-based spirituality, everything is equal, everything is interdependent. And so, like I said, ant medicine or slug medicine. Slug has been one of my animal guides for a while. I love slug medicine. I went on one of the vision. It actually was my first vision quest. Sitting in the woods, and there's this big fallen tree in front of me. The whole weekend, I was there for 3 days, and one day I look up and there's this little slug just kind of crawling along the tree. It was still morning, so there were like dewdrops in the bark, and I'm watching this little slug just slowly make his way across this log, and every time he got to a drop of water, I could feel his excitement. It's like this little slug, like, oh, this is awesome, look at this gift from the universe. And then I would watch, he would crawl up to the drop, and I would watch his drop just kind of like disappear. But so this medicine, like slug medicine, is very Taoist. It's about being in the moment. It's that the path of least resistance, right? I think slugs are even more percentage water than we are. And so slug medicine to me is very powerful. And so we were talking about that, about how no animal is any less important or powerful than any other one, and how no being is less important than any other being. And I was thinking about that afterwards, and it occurred to me that I know I do this, where it's easy to say that looking out at nature, looking out at the natural world, and to exclude ourselves from that realization, right? But just because we can see the world separate from us, apart from us, we can objectify the world around us, doesn't mean we're any less connected. And just like any other creature, we are no less important or powerful than any other creature. We tend to belittle ourselves. We tend to think, well, that's fine for everyone else, but that doesn't apply to me. I was just talking to someone last night about that. It's like, I can sit here and do readings all day long, or talk to people and encourage them, and see the strength and see the way, life works. And at the same time, because I'm observing it, I have a tendency sometimes to not include myself in that. And so I'm like, well, that's all fine out there, but of course I'm different. I'm not a part of that, because I can observe all of that, I can see all of that, but I'm over here observing it. And so we have to, it's important to include ourselves. When like this, so I'm sitting here on the banks of the river, surrounded with greenery, listening to the birds, listening to the water, and watching grandfather's son slowly head toward the horizon, and it's beautiful, and I feel uplifted. And it's important, like when we do that, to realize that feeling of beauty, that feeling of love, that feeling of appreciation and gratitude, that's coming from in here. That's not being, it's not something we're projecting out onto the world. It's not something the world is impressing in on us. That is the opening of our hearts. That is the awakening of our true selves, recognizing that beauty. And if we don't claim that, then we're separating ourselves. We're creating separations, right? We're excluding ourselves from the beauty of the world, of the earth, right? And so it's important when you see something that makes you fall in love with nature. When you see animals, we just saw a little hummingbird. The joy that you feel in your heart, that joy, that sense of beauty, that sense of grandeur, that is coming from inside of you. That is your feelings. That is looking at the world as a mirror that's reflecting back to you your greatness. You couldn't perceive it, you couldn't feel those things if it weren't a part of you, right? Does that make sense? Kind of like when there's a rainbow, right? The thing about rainbows, a rainbow only exists because you're there to see it. If you're not there to observe it, it's just random water drops in the sky, and the sun shining through them. But if there's no one to observe it, if there isn't a brain to perceive it and to see the various colors and to feel that upliftment, the rainbow doesn't even exist. There's no rainbow there if you're not there to perceive it. Right? And delving a little bit into quantum physics, if you've ever heard of the double slit experiment, if you haven't, check it out. It is so cool. So the scientists did this experiment where they wanted to know whether light exists as a particle or a wave. And so they had a light source, and then they had a screen with two slits in it. And then they had another screen at the back, and they sent light through the two slits. And what they expected was that they expected light to be particles. And so they expected, the particles would go toward that first screen, and then each particle, each electron would have to decide one slit or the other. But then you would get that distinct, you get that the light hitting the back screen, like the two slits. But what they found out was when they run that experiment, if nobody's watching, the light goes through both slits. The light acts as a wave. It goes through both slits and creates an interference pattern on the back screen, like you would expect if you were sending water through. But if someone was watching, that wave field collapsed, and it became electrons. It became particles. And even if they didn't even if they set up a camera, if they weren't watching it live, but they set up a camera so they could watch it afterwards, the light acted as particles. But if they, even if they had the camera and they unplugged the camera, it happened as a wave. It really depended on the observer. The observer created, it was like the presence of the observer collapses that field into single electrons or particles. And so the same with the rainbow. The rainbow is not there unless there's somebody there to see it. There's no reference. Oh, hi Gage. Hi American Roadrunner. I haven't checked my email lately, so I'm not sure if I got anything. I will check after this. Thank you. But so never underestimate your power to create your reality. It's your perception that creates the reality that you find yourself in. And so that's where law of attraction, that's where your thoughts become things. It's like the connection between thought and consciousness creating the world around us, right? And so never underestimate your power, never underestimate the importance of you as the observer of reality, the perceiver of reality. Never underestimate the power of that love you feel, that gratitude you feel when you're in nature, for example, around animals, around people you love. Those feelings, etc., are originating in you. They don't originate out there and are pushed into you. They're coming from inside of you and they reflect in the world around you. So again, like I said, I'm kind of tired. I didn't get a full night's sleep last night, so I feel like my words aren't quite there tonight where I'd like them to be, but I hope that made sense. But basically, the universe would not exist if you weren't here. That's how important you are. If you weren't here to perceive the world, the universe, it would just be an unmanifested field of possibilities. And it's by seeing, perceiving, feeling that we create the world, we create the universe, right? So bringing it back full circle to where I started, just like I said, there are no animal guide, like animals as spirit guides or as part of the environment that are more or less important than any other ones. And remember that you are a creature. You are here. Even though we can mentally separate ourselves from the world, you are still an intimate part of the world, right? like Sandra Ingerman says, you're not just part of nature, you are nature. You know, our bodies are made up of earth, air, fire, and water. And so you are just as important, you are just as powerful as any other being. And so, in other words, go easy on yourself. Give yourself some grace. Give yourself credit for how far you've come. Give yourself credit for all the challenges you've come through, right? Forgive yourself for what you might see as transgressions, or, you know, and this is my personal one. I realized back when I was in the throes of having anxiety and panic attacks, I was more afraid of looking stupid than I was of dying. Which, when I think about it, this isn't ego, but like, I have to give myself credit for actually doing these videos, putting myself out here, because that's one of my biggest fears, is looking stupid, looking foolish. Because I always felt foolish when I was a kid. I always had to present my beliefs or what I thought or felt as jokes, because no one else would take them seriously. And so I would end up undermining my own worth, right? So don't undermine your value or your worth for anybody. There is nobody more important than you. There is nobody more powerful than you. You are literally the center of the universe. The universe revolves around you. And because of that, there is nothing in your world, there is nothing that will challenge you that is beyond you. Each of our paths are custom made for each of us. And what might be easy for one person could be a life and death struggle for someone else, right? There's no comparison, there's no judgment. And so it's to give yourself the credit of being where you are, right? And in a weird way, when those big challenges come, it's a sign of how much faith the universe has in you. Because the universe has your back. The universe will always support you in everything. And the universe knows who you are. The universe knows what you're capable of. And so the universe is going to give you exactly what it knows you can handle in order to help you step up to the next level. It's kind of like, there's a quote from Mother Teresa where she was like, said, "God will never give me more than I can handle. I just wish he didn't trust me so much," right? So be good to yourselves, love yourselves, claim your worth. Know that there's no one who is more valuable, more important, or more powerful than you. There's no one that is less important or less valuable than you either. We are all in this together. We are all equals. We are all family. Like Ram Dass says, we're here, we're walking each other home. So thank you for being a part of my walk home. Thank you for walking home. I hope you enjoyed the ceremony. I hope you got something from it. I will release our sacred space. But please share this video if you know someone that it might help. Invite your friends. Every week at this time, I do this every Monday. I also do at 6 o'clock Pacific time. I do card readings, mini medicine card readings. Monday mini medicine card readings. And the medicine cards deal with totem animals. So the first 6 people to come on and say yes in the comments get a 1 card reading with that medicine deck, and it's a lot of fun. So join me then. invite your friends. And if you enjoy my work, if you just want to support your friendly neighborhood shaman, or you got something out of tonight and you wish to reciprocate in another way, I have my links to my PayPal and my Venmo in the description. Anything you give me is, I am so beyond grateful for. This is my day job. So every little bit helps. Every little bit of support I get helps me to focus on my path so that I have more to offer you to support you on your path. So thank you for that. And if you would like a personal reading or a personal session with me, healings or readings or teachings, I do one-on-one mentorships. Check out my website, perchingwolfstudios.net. You can learn more about me. You can see the different shamanic things that I offer. I've also got connections there. I'm also a cartoonist. I've got a couple of coloring books and graphic novels that I've self-published that you can order from get the link on my website to order that kind of thing. You can get samples of my artwork. I heard you, where are you? Thomas? Okay. I heard Thomas, I'm not sure where, I don't see him, but he wants his cookie. So, yeah, anything else? Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like my videos. That, my goal is to expand my voice, expand my influence, and you can help by subscribing and liking videos. That I have no idea how it works, but I know that changes the algorithm so more people can find me. So thank you for that. Is there anything else? I think that's it for now. So let me release our sacred space. I'm over here, Thomas. All right. Spirits of the earth, spirits of the air, spirits of the fire, spirits of the water, spirits of the upper world, spirits of the lower world, compassionate spirits of the middle world, the fae, the spirits of the land, the ancestors of the land. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for holding us in your love and your light. Our work for now is done, but you are always welcome in our circles. Thank you for welcoming us into yours. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Street light people. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Street light people. Don't stop. All right, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for your energy. This will be up on my YouTube channel, so you can watch it as many times as you want. I've got like over 5 years worth of videos. You can choose one at random. And I promise it'll have exactly what you need at the moment. And thank you for joining me. Even if you're watching this a month from now, a year from now, your energy is still a part of what happens here while I'm doing this live. So this is not this is a participatory thing. There's no just watching it. If you're watching this, your energy is a part of this. And for that, I thank you so much. So have a wonderful week. Invite your friends next week. I hope to see you soon. And until I do, know that I love you, that I see you, and that I honor you. Have a wonderful week, everyone. And go shining. All right. Bye.